On a heavy July evening in the small Louisiana town of Cypress Bend, the world felt slow, like the air itself was holding its breath. 9-year-old Mia Bennett twirled barefoot on the porch while her older brother, Jordan, tightened the straps on his bike helmet. "Just stay close to the river bend," their mother Marisol called out from the kitchen door, wiping sweat from her brow. "And bring your sister back before dark." Jordan nodded. "I got her, Mama. Promise." It would be a promise the whole town would remember, and one that would nearly break him. The siblings rode off, laughter drifting behind them like fireflies. But less than an hour later, their abandoned bikes would be found lying crooked and cold by the riverbank, and the nightmare would begin. Cypress Bend was small enough that everyone knew everyone's business, but quiet enough that trouble rarely came knocking. So when Mia and Jordan vanished, the entire town froze. Marisol's scream when she found the empty bikes cut through the trees like a blade. Neighbors rushed out of their houses. Search parties formed within minutes. Flashlights scanned the darkening riverbank. Dogs barked at shadows. The sheriff's department dragged the river. Boats crisscrossed the water. Deputies climbed through thick woods until their arms bled. Nothing. Children don't simply vanish. Not in Cypress Bend. Detective Simone Carter, a calm but deeply troubled woman with sharp instincts, arrived the next morning. She stared at the footprints in the mud, the frantic drag marks near the tree roots, the torn strap of Mia's little pink backpack. Something violent had happened here. Something planned. Simone swallowed the familiar stone of dread that rose in her throat. She had failed a family once, years ago. She wouldn't lose another child. Witnesses came forward quickly, too quickly. Lucas Hayward, a local mechanic with a good reputation but recent money troubles, claimed he saw a white van parked near the river 2 nights earlier. But he hesitated when Simone pressed him for details. "You're sure it was 2 nights ago?" I think so." "You think so?" His story changed 3 times in one interview. Then there was Anthony Bennett, Marisol's ex-husband. He barged into the search headquarters demanding answers. He was sweaty, jittery, almost scared. When Simone calmly asked him where he was the evening the kids vanished, he stuttered. "I was out, handling some business." Later, Marisol revealed that Anthony had borrowed money from a dangerous man. A man who worked along the river docks. Someone whispered to be involved in human trafficking. Simone's gut tightened. Children were disappearing from small towns up and down the river. Quietly, efficiently, without mercy. Just as the investigation started to plateau, a trembling voice called the sheriff's office. "This is Sophie," the woman whispered. "I saw 2 kids being forced into a van." She described Mia's butterfly hair clips and Jordan's baseball cap, details never released to the public. She also provided a partial license plate and the make of the van. Simone acted fast. The search led them to a scrap yard 45 miles north. In the center of it sat a burnt-out white van, still smelling of gasoline and smoke. Inside, forensic teams found 3 things: singed cloth from a child's t-shirt zip ties a small stuffed rabbit, Mia's favorite toy. Marisol collapsed when shown the photo evidence. Jordan had given Mia that rabbit the night their father left. It was their symbol, their promise to stay strong for each other. Now the rabbit sat in the ashes of a crime. As days passed, Marisol barely slept. Her oldest daughter, Alexis, began spiraling. Angry, rebellious, and terrified. "You should have watched them better," she snapped once, but instantly regretted it, sobbing into her mother's arms. Marisol felt guilt swallow her whole. Meanwhile, Anthony disappeared for 3 straight days, claiming later he was finding leads. Simone didn't believe him. The timing was too convenient, too suspicious. Everywhere Marisol turned, she saw cameras, reporters, gossipers whispering behind their hands. Her entire life had become a prison of questions with no answers. Simone spent sleepless nights studying phone records, maps, old trafficking case files. Patterns emerged: transport routes, abandoned docks, a list of shell companies tied to the same man Anthony owed money to. Simone realized the truth. Mia and Jordan weren't taken at random. They were chosen, tracked, targeted. Lucas's shaky testimony suddenly made sense. He wasn't a witness. He was a participant, but they needed proof. And soon, because every hour that passed reduced the chance the children were alive. Federal agents joined Simone. They set up surveillance at an old shipping dock known to be used for trafficking. Hidden cameras, armed officers, undercover boats drifting quietly in the current. No one told Marisol, but Alexis found out, and secretly followed, determined to see the truth with her own eyes. Just after midnight, headlights flashed across the old wooden planks. A white van rolled in. Simone breathed sharply. "Positions," she whispered into her radio. The doors opened. A tall man stepped out, dragging a child with him. Simone didn't wait for the command. She ran. "FBI! Hands where we can see them!" Chaos exploded. 2 suspects tried to flee. Another fired a shot into the air. Agents swarmed in. Alexis screamed when she saw the children inside the van. It was them. Mia, crying, bruised, clutching her rabbit. Jordan, bloodied, barely conscious, but alive. And in the chaos, Sophie, the mysterious caller, was revealed to be a trafficking victim forced to lure families. Simone shielded her as she cried, trembling under the weight of her own trauma. Back at the hospital, Mia clung to Marisol with shaking hands. Alexis gripped her brother's limp fingers. Jordan whispered one sentence through cracked lips. "I tried to protect her." His injuries were severe. Internal damage, a fractured skull. Doctors fought to save him. Simone stood in the hallway, watching as Marisol rocked back and forth, praying quietly. She had seen this scene too many times. Families stitched together with hope and grief. Jordan survived, but doctors warned he might never walk again, never regain full speech, never remember parts of the night he tried to defend his sister. It was victory and heartbreak, all at once. As for the criminals, Lucas Hayward confessed under pressure. He had sold information to traffickers in exchange for cash. The ringleader was arrested, tied to disappearances across multiple states. Sophie vanished from the safe house days later. No one knows if she escaped or returned to the life she feared. The media called it the miracle by the river. But Marisol didn't feel lucky. She felt broken, changed. A mother who had watched innocents die and only fragments come home. Weeks later, Simone returned to her office. On her desk lay a photo taken before the disappearance. Mia and Jordan at the riverbend, smiling, sunlight glinting off the water. Simone stared at it a long time, not in celebration, but in warning, because she knew the truth the news would never say. The traffickers hadn't stopped. This was only one van, one town, one family saved out of dozens lost. And the river kept flowing, carrying its secrets with it.